Hi and welcome. This is Vince of vinceprep.com, career advisor, admissions consultant, doing this work for 20 years, based over here in Tokyo, also based in California over the summer. Let me take these glasses off because I don't like the screen glare. A client recently asked me about resumes and CVs, and I haven't counted, hundreds of resumes and CVs, or helped clients create hundreds of resumes and CVs over the years. And so he said to me, Vince, just, your videos are too long. Give it to me, tell me again, what's a resume? Why is it important? And I sort of deep breath, and I said, okay, this is what I told him, and I thought I should share it with you guys. Two things, really. And by the way, well, let me tell you what the two things are, then let me tell you who told me to tell you that, in a sense. One thing to think about is basically two most important tasks in a resume is quantify everything and also qualify everything. A resume is not a list. A resume is a marketing document. It's a combination of accounting and marketing, of course. It must be based on real facts, but it's all in how you present it. Every bullet point is one line, and it is your greatest hits. I'm a musician. You can see my guitar in the corner. People put out greatest hits compilations or playlists, essential songs of band X. This is your essential songs list. So it's quantify everything and qualify everything. Let me explain quantify everything. By the way, that's a direct quote. AGAC, I think you've heard me talk about the Association of International Graduate Admissions Consultants. I was a 6-year board member, former president. We are the good guys in this graduate admissions consulting space. We are the folks, guys and gals, who are invited by the schools. Over the years, we've been to pretty much every top school. M7 schools and also top schools in Europe have invited us on campus to have closed-door, candid conversations about the market. You guys, what are you looking for in a school? That's what they want to know from us. What we want to know from them, in turn, is, what are they looking for? And we want to think as much as possible like they think. So they tell us when we have let's say we have a career panel at an AGAC conference, we're talking about careers, or we're talking about, for example, resumes. If someone in the audience will ask, what do you want our clients to know? What do you want you, the audience, to know about resumes? And they sort of almost unanimously say two things. It's got to be on a page. Even if you're mid-career, you should always, I still have a one-page resume. I'm 50 years old. I still have one. It's just, to my point, it's a tight list. Like band X is top 10. The longer band X or singer-songwriter X has been out in the market, his or her greatest hits, it's harder and harder to choose the top 10. But someone's got to do it. So it's a curated list of everything that you can. So they say one page and they say quantify everything, meaning that whatever's impressive, if it's money, then it's $1 billion deal. If you're like me in a small education business, or if you're in nonprofit, if the dollar amount, and always use dollars if you're applying to US schools, if the dollar amount is not impressive, the percentage, increased sales by 20%. Maybe sales only went from 100,000 to 120,000, but still 20% improvement. Quantify with whatever is impressive, either money or percentage, money saved, money earned, whatever. Qualify everything. The four magic letters are FYOB. First, youngest, only, best. One of those four things. So the combination of a qualifier and quantified data and the last thing I'll say is, he said to me, what do I need to know about resumes? And I said, quantify everything, qualify everything. Of course, I had to explain those. And the last thing I said was, it's the agenda for your interview. So if it's Stanford, if it's Columbia, if it's a school that uses alumni interviewers, you're not in control of your interviewer. You can't control what they ask, when they ask it, how deeply they follow up. You cannot control whether or not you get to say everything you wanted to say. That is not the point of an interview. The point of the interview is to have a good conversation and make a good fit. It is not a test. My point is that the one thing you control in an interview is, well, how much you prepare. But the one thing you control for an alumni interview is what you choose to put on the resume. So think of the resume, and the last thing I'll say, honestly, last thing, it's the agenda for your interview. It's the conversation talking points memo, if you will, of the stuff you want to talk about. So do not put anything on there that you don't want to talk about. And when you put it on there, put it in the best way you can, quantified and qualified. And last thing. Here's a little tip or trick that I recommend. It doesn't always work, but depending on the circumstance, especially for alumni interviewers, I've never heard this didn't work. Your resume is bonsai. You're cutting it constantly. I'm 50 years old. I'm always updating my resume, or in this case, my LinkedIn profile. Constantly updating it. It's a way to stay fresh and relevant in the market. Since you're always updating your resume, since the time you applied until the day of your interview, something has changed. A deal was closed. A project was completed. Here's the last thing. Bring an updated resume to your interview and hand it to your interviewer at the appropriate time. If the moment presents itself, have it ready, either at the very beginning or somewhere along the way. Oh, you know what? That's not the latest version. The school sent you the one I applied with a month ago, a week ago, 3 months ago, whenever. Here's the latest one. Oh, and then it immediately forces the conversation, hopefully, if the interviewer is not too scripted and stuck, she'll say, oh, interesting. And then she's got the two resumes there, and she might say, or she might notice what's different. Something at the top of the resume, perhaps, or something at the bottom of the resume. You just had a kid and you're volunteering in the daycare. Okay, really signing off. The way to get updates on my YouTube, because I do love making these videos, every chance I get is to subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll be the first to know when I made a new one. That's it for now. Best of luck with your application, with your career, with your growth, and happy holidays. Bye for now.